But we got a really busy show, but I'm wondering if you could do us a favor.
Yeah, what you need, man?
Can you pull double duty and also be down at the chef's table?
Double duty. I think I can make a double.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's double it up later.
Okay. Double duty. Double duty. Double duty. Double duty.
Dance like the moves that you're doing on purpose. Sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you. Pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Yes, everybody, welcome in. Later with Jason Suel. Glad that you were tuned in. Man, the band's warmed up. They are tuned in.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, a little country western feeling. Got me feeling.
Kind of get us going.
You remember Opryland?
Yes.
Does anybody remember Opryland?
I do. I think, has it translated now to Silver Dollar City?
Well, no, Opryland got demolished and they built a mall, and then Nashville was like, oh, crap, what did we do? We shouldn't have done that, and now it's, something else. But Opryland, I have lots of weird, vivid memories of Opryland as a kid. And the Grand Old Opry, the Screaming Delta Demon, and like all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are vivid memories of specific like roller coasters.
Oh man, yeah. It was the most dangerous, stupid roller coaster. It was a tube that they cut it was like a half pipe, right? So it was like a half tube. And they just had a cart with wheels and they just throw you down it. And you're like, ah! You could have died.
Back when you could do those things.
Back when you could do those things.
You know, things that I feel like I'm going to die this time of year is when I get out there and do some canoeing. Have you done any of that? Or kayaking, I suppose.
Kayaking, canoeing, especially in the Ozarks. Right now, the water levels are good.
Yeah.
Might be a little chilly, the water, but I mean, we've got the canoe parks in Silent Springs that are finally online.
Yeah.
I mean, we waited how many years for those?
Thousands.
But wear a helmet. Be safe.
Be safe
it's
out
very
there,
dangerous.
for sure.
But lots of fun.
Absolutely, and there's nothing like the rapids on one of those rivers that'll kind of get your heart racing,
man.
I feel like.
Well, and that's the cool thing about those kayak parks we're starting to have is you can just do the rapids over and over and over because everybody's like, let's paddle 3 miles for the 2 rapids.
For the 2 minutes that you're on, even less than that, it's like 30 seconds.
So thanks to all the billionaires here, we can just skip to the fun part.
We just skip to the fun part and then do it over and over and over again.
That's right. Cut out all the work.
Sounds like this show absolutely
Cutting
does.
out all the work.
Cutting out all the work and having all the fun over and over and over again on the show today. We got Blake Elder joining us from Rockhill Studios. Can't wait to catch up with Blake and everything they have going on for the film scene here in Northwest Arkansas. Cut! Absolutely, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we've got a music video filmed right here at Fayetteville Public Television. Yongi Live's joining us. Man, it's gonna be a great music video. I can't wait for that. And then down there at our chef's table, am I reading this right? We've got the one and only Bo Counts. Bo, what's going on down there at the chef's table?
Well, today I'm gonna be making an Aperol Spritz and a spaghetti. Perfect for summer.
Okay, it sounds delicious, Bo.
I know,
Bo, you truly are everywhere. You truly are everywhere. This hat. It's kind of the same hat.
It is.
All the time. I can't wait to see.
I'll put different pins on it, though.
That's right. That's what makes it different. This show's different. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. Stick around. We got all that fun happening later. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We've got Blake Elder here from Rockhill Studios joining me now in the hot seat. Blake, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Rockhill doing so much, really a game changer for us here in Northwest Arkansas on the film scene. Maybe you can just tell us what Rockhill is for people who haven't heard of you.
Well, physically it is a sound stage. We're off of a township in between Gregg and College, but we do commercials, we do local commercials, and our bread and butter is really feature films.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of feature films, you've put a lot of folks who live here in Northwest Arkansas to work, working on these feature films, whether they're crewing or acting in, or Can we kind of do maybe a little bit of a retrospective of this past year? Because you've had some pretty notable projects come through.
Yeah, we just wrapped a film back in March called Sovereign with Nick Offerman and Dennis Quaid.
It's huge.
So that was a big project for us. That had over 35 locations, so we were all over the place.
Yeah.
So, and that was the real big one. And then before that, we had another film called Nuked that just premiered. So
yes, that's exciting.
Yeah, Justin
right?
Bartha and Anna Camp were in it. And so
yeah, and that one's
shot
kind of making a festival run.
right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So we just showed at Bentonville Film Festival and at Tribeca.
What's on the slate upcoming? Is there anything we can look forward to?
We got a few. We always have about 2 or 3 projects that are in development.
Yeah.
And then one of them will just pop and take off. So it's kind of crazy.
So Blake, here's what I need a little bit of help understanding is that there's these production companies that you kind of partner with, and then they bring folks to the area, and then you help supply more.
Yeah, so
walk me through that.
They'll come in, they'll bring in more than likely their director or cinematographer, maybe some key positions. But outside of that, they want to source locally. A lot of that has to do with our tax incentive.
Sure.
So it's great for local businesses and hotels and places like that, and obviously local crew.
Yeah. When you said 36 locations, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
So were you scouting locations for the production company so they could hit the ground running?
Yeah.
How does that work?
We started shooting in February, and we were scouting November.
Yeah.
And me and Aaron Rames, who's at Rockhill, we were scouting even during the shoot, so which is kind of rare and scary, but we got it done.
I bet it is, because like tomorrow we got to be out at this point. Do you get the script in advance and you look through and you're like, okay, they're looking for a house that needs X, Y, Z? Whatever.
Absolutely, we totally break it down and start sending some options out there.
Bo, okay, so you worked on several films. Sound, I don't know if people realize you in this sound.
Man of many hats, like that's the theme of the show.
The theme of the show, absolutely.
And I've actually worked on some productions with Blake. I mean, one of the first things I think we worked on was what, Valley Inn?
Yeah.
Like years ago. And Northwest Arkansas is really interesting. Like he said, it's, there wasn't a big scene here. So a lot of people just had to kind of come together and build it. And it's kind of if we build it, they will come. And it's starting to really pay off these days. And you're starting to see like, oh my gosh, Nick Offerman was at Onyx. And you're like, look at Northwest Arkansas actually being a film destination. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. What do you think has led to that? I mean, obviously Rockhill has played a part, but the tax incentive, I mean, the festivals that happen around the area and the state.
Absolutely. That and the crew and everybody, I mean, we're talented, and people like to live here. They don't want to live in LA.
What's your relationship like maybe with the film commissioner? Because I know that's a big part of getting those tax breaks and those tax incentives. Are you guys speaking the same language? What's
absolutely. Christopher Crane is awesome. We work so well with him, and everything's so smooth going through the incentive process.
Yes. So I know that you executive produce a lot of things with Rockhill, but you also like to make movies yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream project out there that you're like, man, one day I would love to make this thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's the subject matter? Can I ask that?
Western.
Western?
Yeah.
Okay. Has Rockhill made any Westerns yet?
Sort of. We did a Civil War thing in Freedom's Path, but that's probably the closest, The
closest one that you've come to. Remind our viewers what Freedom's Path was about.
Yeah, Freedom's Path is about a runaway Union soldier, a deserter, who meets up with a free Underground Railroad, and they're just, so he starts helping out. It's a really cool connection between the two.
That's amazing. And you mentioned one earlier, Nuked, right? That is premiering all over the place right now. Can you give us a little insight into what that
Absolutely. It's a
about?
comedy. It's about a group of friends get together for a birthday party at an Airbnb, and they get an emergency alert that a nuclear bomb is coming. So,
wild.
Yeah, so they're kind of stuck there, and they're all confessing and all this funny stuff, but they end up finding out it's a false alarm.
Okay.
So.
And then Sovereign, obviously, you've got some real Hollywood A-listers in that one. You've got Nick Offerman. I know we talked about Dennis Quaid is in that one as well. What's that about?
Yeah, and Jacob Tremblay is the kid.
Jacob Tremblay, he is skyrocketing
absolutely.
right now.
But that one is about a sovereign citizen. It follows really Nick Offerman and his son, and Dennis Quaid and his son, and it's based on a true story that happened in West Memphis. But Nick Offerman is a sovereign citizen, and Dennis Quaid is the chief of police, and they basically end up running into each other, and yeah, it's pretty
And it
wild.
goes from there.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So let's say maybe there's some local folks viewing right now and they're like, man, Rockhill sounds awesome. I want to shoot a commercial there, or I want to find out the rates on renting their space, or I'm local crew and maybe I want to put my name in the hat to work with you. What's your website? How can people reach
Yeah,
out
you
to
can
you?
go to www.rockhill.studio. It has all our information on there. There's even a form you can fill out if you want to, join our crew list. So.
Yeah, for sure. Bo, you've crewed a lot of movies. For people looking for work, can you maybe give us some insight into what it's like working on films here in Northwest Arkansas?
It's like working on a film set is so strange because you're kind of like carnival workers, but way classier. The hours are wild. You're setting up, you're breaking down. You get to meet a lot of cool people, and especially when you're working on a feature, you spend 26 to 35 days with like an intimate group of people, and you get to become a little bit of a family, and you go through hard times and amazing times, and sometimes it's so freaking hard. You're like, I never want to do this again, but when you wrap and you see it, you're like, I can't wait for the next one. It's unlike any other job there is, so highly recommend it.
Yeah, and super rewarding as well. And then obviously community is what you're creating there, and you want these production companies to come back again and again and again, knowing you and the great community of film crew and talent that we have here in Northwest Arkansas, right?
Absolutely, and that's what you see. They keep coming back. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Blake, thanks for joining us,
Thank you,
filling us
Jason.
in, kind of
Yeah.
giving us a peek behind the scenes of what's happening there at
Yeah,
Rockhill.
I
We love
appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Stick around. We got more fun. It's all happening later.
She was so young when she found out that she could sing most any song, and she put all her records on. She flew out of this place by and by, on and on. Well, he was so when he found out that he could play most any song.
Did it!
You did it.
I did it.
You did
Caught
it.
all those things. Man, okay, we're here. We're making spritzes and spaghettis.
So it's summer. It's
Right.
summer. Everybody knows an Aperol Spritz, right?
Sure, I love a good
I think
Aperol
everybody
Spritz.
kind of knows an Aperol Spritz. Maybe doesn't know what it is.
They might
just-
not know Bo Count's version
Well,
of an Aperol
it's
Spritz.
pretty classic.
Okay, good.
But I don't think a lot of people know what Aperol even is.
Right.
They're just like, it's red, it's pretty, I like it. So we'll talk about Aperol Spritz, but then we're also going to make a spaghetti.
What is a
And
spaghetti?
a spaghetti is something like,
A spaghetti.
so it's an industry drink.
Is it Italian?
And it
Okay.
is very not. And
Okay.
maybe in certain parts of New York it's very Italian, but it's an industry drink. And when people refer to the industry, it generally means like bars and restaurants, people that are in the service industry. And it's something that a lot of service industry people, it's like an Aperol Spritz, but with Miller High Life. And we'll get to that in a minute. But an Aperol Spritz is an easy.
So let's
easy
start with the
classic.
what? So this is like cocktail the public knows, might not know about Aperol though.
So what Aperol is, it's an aperitivo, right? So it's a bitter liqueur, think like Campari or
Yes.
something like that. But it's made with like a lot of orange peel. It's still very bitter, but a lot more sweet than like a Campari. So
okay,
it's
yeah,
gonna,
Campari is very bitter.
It's very bitter, but it's going to temper those lemon and grape notes from your sparkling wine. You want to put like about an ounce of Aperol in your glass.
And you're such
know.
a pro, we're gonna trust you.
Yeah, I didn't bring a jigger today, so we're just going to do it. And fresh squeezed lemon
Fresh
juice.
squeeze is the key.
Always, so about a half ounce of that.
Okay.
And then a little bit of simple syrup. You want a little bit of sweetness. Some people don't like that. If it's Italian, it's not classic Italian to use this, but the American palate tends to lean a little sweet.
Okay.
So about a half ounce of your sugar. And then you're gonna wanna ice it up, because it is a spritz. So get some good, don't use freezer ice. It's not good. Get some good quality ice. Like if you're having friends over, go buy a bag of good ice or invest in a.
What does it say at the store? Does it say good ice? How do you know you're getting the good stuff?
Just the good ice.
Okay, yeah,
Like
I'll
just
take-
look for something that's clear, doesn't have a lot of like air impurities in
Okay.
it. It'll be a lot better. And then you top it off with your sparkling wine. Pretty simple
Is that
stuff.
the spritz part? When people say spritz, is that what we're talking
That
about?
is the spritz part.
Yeah.
And then you throw a half of an orange in there, just
Boom.
as like a yummy, fun little garnish.
Now
And
this is your like sipping cocktail patio perfect
weather,
for summer.
Super fun.
Or maybe
easy.
you are floating one of those rivers we talked about. You stop.
That's a
and take-
very classy drink. To
yeah,
take on the
classy.
river.
Be classy on that river.
No
Arkansans.
glass.
Yeah.
No glass on the river.
That's right.
But yeah, Italian is great for dinner. It's great for like a light pasta. It's great for. It's easy. It's
Yes,
easy.
delicious.
But the spaghetti.
Okay,
this
you
is
gotta educate
the
us on
late
this.
night version.
Okay.
This is you just got off work. You don't just want a Miller High Life. You want something.
You got to class it up a little bit.
Class it up. So you build it right in the bottle, but obviously there's not a lot of room in there. So
gotta take some out.
You
Okay.
got to take some out. So you take a little bit out, but you don't waste it.
No, couldn't waste it. Cheers.
You can't waste it. And you just go directly in the bottle with a little bit of lemon juice. So again, about a half ounce. Boom.
So this is what, after they get off work, your bar staff are kind of like throwing this together. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Oof. Yes.
Got a little bit of that going.
Look at that. But
that Aperol.
Look at that cascade.
I
Man,
know.
that makes me think of summer right now.
Miller
just
High
looking
Life
at it.
is the champagne of beers for a reason.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then you're
And then you're good.
you got a spaghetti, man.
Easy peasy.
Boom.
Okay. You can make
Taste
either of those
that,
at
though.
home. Okay. Should I
Taste
taste
that,
this one?
though.
Yeah. The difference here is going to be striking
Oh.
or not?
Check it out.
Man,
Isn't that good?
that makes the Miller High Life better.
It does. It's like a beer mosa. Everybody's heard of a beer mosa.
How can people find you, Bo? Because Pinpoint, if
Well,
people
I'm
don't
here.
know.
I'm here all the time.
Yeah.
But when I'm not here, I'm at Pinpoint. I run Pinpoint. I opened that bar in 2018. A lot of people think, barcade. We're not a barcade. We are a cocktail bar that has pinball. So, we have a really great world-class cocktail program. We send our bartenders all over the country to like learn and grow. We try a lot of weird stuff, but we are master of classics.
You are, and you've got all those pinball machines. Where skee ball back in the back.
Skee ball
too,
in the
so-
back, pinball. You can find all the games that we have. We rotate them monthly. You can find that over our website, pinpointfayetteville.com.
Thanks for bringing the cocktails.
Yeah,
Delicious,
my
man.
pleasure, my
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Stick around. We got more fun happening later. Yes, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms or send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. Before we get out of here, we got to thank our cast of amazing guests, including the one and only Bo Counts for bringing us some cocktails. Thanks, Bo.
Of course. And Blake Elder from Rockhill Studios for coming out.
Absolutely. How about that music video from Yongi live? That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. Happy summer.